October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and at 5:30 on our What's Now broadcast, we told you the story of 57-year-old Mary, who was killed by her husband. Now, our Christi Paul shares part 2 of Mary's story and why Mary's daughter, Lisa, is determined to talk about what happened to her mother.
What's the first thing everybody says? Well, why don't you leave? Because they can't.
Lisa's mother, Mary, was murdered by her husband, a man she'd spent 8 years with, a man who moved her from Michigan to Florida. After he killed her, people realized that move to Florida was far more sinister than simply a move.
After you learn about domestic violence, it's like, well, why did she move to Florida? Well, because he took her there. Why did he take her there? He took her away from all her friends. We were all manipulated in the sense that he took her away from us. It wasn't my mom distancing herself and, leaving her friends of, 20 years behind. They realized that, oh, Mary didn't leave us. Somebody stole her from us.
It's a key tactic of an abuser, isolation, getting their victim away from people they love and trust. Another tactic is manipulation and control, essentially shaming them. In this case, it was to death.
My mom was a very strong person, and, would be my thought. But if you've got somebody that you live with telling you they're the only person that loves you, nobody will love you like I will, nobody understands you, nobody's going to take care of you, and there's this whole mind manipulation they do.
What most people don't know about abuse is what the National Domestic Violence Hotline wants you to know, that the most dangerous time for someone who's in an abusive relationship is often when they leave it.
What happens when women leave? Well, I know what happens because my mom's last phone call was to the local domestic violence agency.
Lisa was taken to her mother's home after the murder, and she wasn't prepared for what she saw.
On the opposite side of the room, next to the bed, there's a phone. And that's when he told me her last phone call was to the local domestic violence agency, which tells you a lot. It wasn't to me, it wasn't to my brother, it wasn't to her family, it wasn't to her friends.
People who are abused don't tell because they're afraid of being judged, not being believed, or retribution. Lisa spent a lot of time researching abuse, and she knows now how to bring up concerns with someone you fear is in an unhealthy relationship. The One Love Foundation says we need to be supportive and a safe place for them. Don't judge or blame the victim. Ask questions about how they feel. Allow them to make their own decisions and expect future discussions. This isn't something that gets solved in one conversation, but they're conversations worth having.
That's what people, they don't realize. It can happen to anybody. It is happening to someone you know.
And it's important to remember that there are so many forms of abuse. It's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's financial, it's sexual, it's digital. But people don't have to suffer through this. If you or someone you know is in trouble, remember, it is pivotal to craft a safe plan to leave. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline to talk to someone. The number on your screen is there, 800-799-7233. You can also text them, by the way. Just text START to 88788. They'll connect you with local organizations here in our area who can help. So it's just one of those situations where a lot of times you don't know what to say if somebody's in it.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that, I can tell you from my own experience, you never feel safe. So if you become a safe place for them, there's something very powerful in it.
Powerful story, powerful words, Christi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.